Hello again, whiskey friends. Got a special release here today. We got the Remus Reserve Gatsby release. You know, Remus actually killed his wife, a couple miles from this house over here. So it's interesting to sit here and drink some whiskey that immortalized his brand now. But let's get into this. Let's break it down, kick off the show. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. So we got the Remus Reserve Gatsby release here. Gonna pull this out. Quite the bottle design on this thing. The Art Deco style. Goes back to that era where it's getting its name. Gatsby was actually, the Great Gatsby was inspired by Remus and the parties that he would throw. So the bottle style kind of fits that whole decor. And then looking at the back here, so this is a 15-year-old MGP limited release. Now, interestingly, cask strength, but cask strength and only 97.8 proof. That might sound odd, but I'm going to do a comparison later to an Old Scout single barrel. But these MGPs from this era, notoriously had some low proof single barrels. So I imagine it comes from a very similar stock there. Now, the thing that I don't have it to compare to is the new Riff 15. That probably would have been a better comparison, but we'll go back to the Old Scout later. So special shout out to Kelsey, one of my best whiskey friends, for helping me get this bottle. This was about $250, which is pricey, but the Old Scout that I'll compare it to later on goes for anywhere between $500 to $800 on secondary these days, depending on the barrel and the bottle and the sticker. So I did crack this open as I was setting up here, just so it had a chance to sit out. Cheers, Trev. But we'll go through the nose, the taste, the feel, and the balance, and the finish, and see how this one goes. I'm pretty excited. And then forgive the wind. Hopefully the microphone isn't picking it up too much, but couldn't resist drinking outside. Despite all the leaves falling down, it's still quite lovely out here. Look at me in short sleeves. All right, well, let's go in. Cheers, everybody. Oh yeah, lovely on the nose. The 15 years definitely stands out. I wouldn't say it's over oaked though. You can got to be careful with MGP getting over oaked. Good amount of dark honey coming through. And a lot of cherry forward. I think this Old Scout's going to be a good comparison. Gets a bit peppery as well. It's a very good nose. All right, let's go in for a taste of this thing. Spin around a little bit. It is an oily bugger. Look at that. Coat the glass. See, that's the thing with some of these low-proof ones. When they are cask strength, they can be very oily and very potent. Okay. Really along the lines of what I was expecting here. That new Riff 15 would have been another good comparison, but I think this has that beat. In a few ways. I think it's given off a bit more flavor, a little less oak. So what stands out to me on the taste, up front, immediately flavorful. The low proof definitely stands out. I mean, this feels even lower than 97.8. The oak is pretty omnipresent, but it does match the nose quite a bit with the honey and the cherry. I'm going to go in again. Okay. Yeah, up front, initially just a sweet graham cracker. Transitions to a dark oak mid palate, and then nothing but cherry. All over the finish, cherry and the honey. Trying to see if there's anything else in here that I call out. But it tastes pretty much as expected. And it's very good. The finish is a little short. Let's get into the finish. Yeah, the finish is a little short. Getting some nice black pepper on the finish, though. It lingers because it's so oily. Lingers on the oak side of things. Got some nice cinnamon apple on that one, actually. Some clove, even. Okay, it's getting a little spicier. Okay. So all in all, I would say it's a good pour. I don't know if it's necessarily worth the money, but we'll do the comparison here to the Old Scout in just a bit. It's very good, but I'm having issues finding like a standout quality for it that I can really hang my hat on to recommend. So let's hold tight on that. This one's right in the middle, worth a sample, worth a tasting, but not knocking me out. Love the bottle, though. All right. Let's do a comparison here. Pull out another Glen. All right. Cheers to the Mash and Journey. So a little comparison here to this Old Scout. Theoretically, so this Old Scout, if you haven't seen these, these would be some of the OG MGP single barrels that people went crazy for. So this was an 11-year one. I would say this is probably from 2017, 2018. So kind of the same family of barrels that we're probably talking about with this Remus. And note the proof here, 103.4 proof. A lot of these Old Scouts were hovering just around 100 proof at the time. And as I said, on secondary, these can go for 500 plus. So that makes it kind of an interesting comparison on something that you can buy now for $250 if you're lucky to find it. Yeah, these rhyme. It's interesting. The oak presence on this one, it's like a nice sweet oak compared to kind of a musty old cabin, older oak. An antique wood shop. Versus something that's more sweet. Sweeter across the palate. Very similar flavor profile, though, actually. Cherry, definitely on the finish. Some of those spices I was talking about. The clove, the black pepper, that's coming through. Oh yeah, these definitely rhyme. I think I prefer the Gatsby. This has actually been one of my favorite pours. This Benny's pick here. Gonna get just a little more nip of this Gatsby here. Now I'm intrigued. It's hard for me to say that I wouldn't recommend the Gatsby when I rave about the Old Scouts. Could just be that this is opening up too, and I'm acclimating to it as well. Yeah, just that lovely cherry. If you like a cherry bomb MGP, That's kind of a bygone era. But if you like a cherry bomb MGP, this is pretty good. If you were into the Old Scout single barrels at the time as well, $2.50 if you can get it retail for the Gatsby versus buying the old stuff on secondary. This is probably a good go-to for that purpose. But I think I would probably only recommend it to that particular crowd who knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, I think in the end, Gatsby edition, recommend. It depends. I don't think going into this, everyone should hunt this down and pay $2.50 for it. But if you are into MGP, if you're into the Old Scout single barrels of, years gone by, that's actually then somewhat a value if you could get that on retail at least. So yeah, I guess we can leave it at that. I'm pretty happy about this bottle. It'll be a cool one to keep on the shelf here for some time. Well, cheers, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Catch you all for the next one. Bye, whiskey friends.